Hi, my name is Helene Lugo, and today I will be talking about police stress, understanding suicide among police officers. We will explore the contributing factors that are associated with suicide and police stress, how the two have a relationship, and how there might be a possibility to find an outlet to release those stressors and prevent suicide amongst police officers. Generally speaking, in most society, police officers are just a set of individuals who are assigned to maintain peace and order. These officers of justice are common people that undertake the day-to-day realities of the world. Faced with little or no experience, these officers are subject to traumatic exposures and routine police work of solving problems. Police officers, additionally, are faced with organizational changes that further increases and contributes to their stress. The very nature of their creation, the systematic approach to perform, and the development of their persona makes police officers equal to a timing bomb that eventually may lead to suicide. Police administrations must find outlets to assist police officers in finding ways to release stress. Without these releasers, the possibilities of committing suicide increases among police officers on a daily basis. During the year 2010, there were 145 reported police suicides. A recent study revealed that New York City officers kill themselves at a rate of 29 per 100,000 a year, most of those victims being very young males. According to the National Association of Police Chiefs, approximately 300 cops commit suicide annually. Police officers in a short period of time are exposed to numerous accounts of traumatic incidents that the general public will probably never encounter in their lifetime. These traumatic events, like homicides, suicides, vehicular fatalities, may lead officers down a path of mental absorption in which the police officers may accept death as an avenue of escape when he or she can no longer find the answer to their problems. There is also the isolation and the transformation of the job that plays a vital role in their survival on the streets. The latter could also be induced by the perception which officers are quickly discouraged when faced with the disadvantage of the job and the downfalls of the system. In all, there is a cumulative stress that is built over the years, and when police officers cannot find the answers to their own personal problems, suicide acts may be the only means to escape and perhaps their only answer. Police executives and administrators need to take the time to explore new innovative ways to assist officers in preventing and committing suicide. They must ensure that officers are aware and learn how to separate their jobs from their personal lives. Even though times have changed with regards to policing, policy, and procedures, more so should executives not ignore the cry for help from the front line or administrative lines. There are many factors that affect police officers in today's society, whether it's physical stress, organizational stress, or simple day-to-day stressors. By ignoring them, then we shall consider ourselves to be accomplices to any acts, if ever a police officer commits suicide. Police officers are individuals who are made to follow a certain role and must act in a certain way. Any person prior to becoming a police officer is an individual who basically roams free with the norms of society. Police officers, on the other hand, are held to higher standards when it comes to society, whether on duty or not. Their behavior is closely watched by peers and the public. This behavior is altered, even greater once anyone finds out if he and she are police officers. The cumulative behavior associated with the perception of the job and the restrictiveness teaches the police officers to be different and to see things in a systematic way. The right or wrong, black or white, or by the book makes their existence strictly monotone and makes the officers lose their distinctive existence. Police officers, after a few years in the force, build an ego, a superego, that delivers perfection. Furthermore, police officers maintain a high profile and have a mentality to be tough guys, the problem fixers, and the fighters of crime. Although all of the priors are commendable, it's also their weakness. In all, police officers, like the rest of our population, sustain problems. Due to their cumulative behavior and their life-altering styles, when they confront a problem on their own, which he or she cannot fix, or it brings shame to them, then the officer may turn to suicide as an alternative solution.
New details this morning about a deadly police-involved shooting on the MacArthur Causeway. The investigation Saturday tied up beach traffic for hours.
Now witnesses are beginning to come forward with what they saw happen.
And we should warn you, some of the details are gruesome. Local 10's Carlos Suarez has our update.
The Miami Herald is reporting something that a Local 10 viewer told us yesterday, that when officers pulled up to the westbound off-ramp of the MacArthur Causeway, they found one man mauling, chewing the face of another. When that officer ordered him to back off, and he didn't, they opened fire. The drama unfolded just off the MacArthur Causeway near Biscayne Boulevard Saturday afternoon. A frantic caller dialed 911 saying two men were fighting dangerously close to traffic near the off-ramp.
What that fight was about, we have no idea at this point.
Minutes later, a Miami police officer pulled up to the scene.
He attempted to separate them. Apparently there was some sort of confrontation, and during this confrontation, something occurred that caused the officer to discharge his weapon.
The bloodshed unfolded at the height of Memorial Day weekend on a busy stretch of roadway.
Pretty hectic, everybody honking, yelling.
Drivers sat still in their cars under the sweltering sun for hours.
I saw it apparently was about maybe a 6-foot male that was covered up right next to a blue tarp area, and then he had proceeded to cover that up as I started to zoom in.
On an ugly scene that played out near the heart of holiday weekend across the causeway in Miami Beach. A viewer who claims to have witnessed the shooting wrote on our Local 10 website, quote, "I stopped a City of Miami police officer and informed him that a homeless man was killing another person by biting and ripping his face to death. The police officer confronted the aggressor, and he was like a rabid dog and confronted the officer. Then the officer shot the person 4 times. Now, the other man involved in all of this, he remains in the hospital with serious wounds to the face. Miami Fire Rescue tells us that when paramedics arrived at the scene, he was having trouble breathing. The names of the pair have not been released. Reporting in Miami, I'm Carlos Suarez, Local 10 News.
The job of a police officer is a stressful one. Police officers have to deal with problems of others, see traumatic incidents, and receive stress from the organization they work for. In all, these stressors contribute to the overall behavior of the police officers. However, in a study conducted by Lieberman, Best, in 2002, they discovered that there is a consistency with a variety of prior reports that routine occupational stressors are more stressful to police officers than exposure to critical incidents. Although police work is routinely the same, the needs of the organizations do change with time in order to meet the demanding change of society. In order to further understand what stress is, we need to understand what it means. According to Harpel and Frinsman, in their article Negative Influences of Police Stress, they stated that one research defines stress as a non-specific response of the body to any demand placed on it. This simply means that each person responds differently to internal and external demands of life, but that each person does experience stress. Officers, as stated before, are confronted daily with traumatic incidents that affect their persona. This negative stress compensates for their behavior change that police officers endure while exposed to traumatic events and organizational stressors. Furthermore, according to James D. Swell in his article, Managing the Stress of Organizational Change, he stated that the needs of the community and constituents are both the reasons why agencies regularly examine and improve their ways of operation. This goes hand in hand with previous findings that administrators, as well as administrations, are not focusing on the assistance of managing organizational stress. For this been one of the major contributions to suicide among police officers. The administration failed to provide the proper communication, and the instability of the ranks creates an unsafe environment among police officers. This failure to identify stress is without a doubt a serious problem that has a tragic end.